So life is always full of changes. I myself am not a fan of changes, but you know what? You can't control it. It's just going to happen, right? One big change in our lives was the day that Brian came to me and said, Lori, I want to start daily vlogging. And believe it or not, we came to this exact spot, right where I'm sitting. He and I sat and we talked about starting the vlog. This vlog that you guys have been following for all these years. We sat here, we talked about the pros, the cons, why he wanted to do it, why he thought it was a good idea. I was hesitant, nobody's surprised, right? But the reality is we made that decision back there on that day, sitting here talking about the differences that it was going to make in our lives, like making our lives public and letting you guys see that and what the pros and the cons were going to be from that. And ultimately we decided, yes, this is the route we're going to take. And I just figured what better way to start talking about this whole vlog about changes than bringing you guys right here to where the first and craziest decision was made to start all of this. So at the start of the vlog, all we had actually was BHB. And if you guys remember, mainly what we did was ball pythons. So you got a sneak peek back into what our crazy life was. If you ever want to have a good time, go back to some of those OG ones. Our life was crazy then, even though it got a lot crazier since.
So my favorite change over at Legacy is most of the changes that we've made. Let me show you. What's not cool over here, like the Mandarin gobies. I don't know how well the color shows on the camera, but like Mandarin gobies are just one of the coolest little fish, I think. I don't know why I like them so much. They're just so colorful. They're not very big. And I mean, he's just chilling with the garden eels, but that's not one of my favorite changes. We have a huge stingray tank. I love stingrays. Look, here they all come. I don't know why I like them so much. They're just so cool. Huh, buddy? Ooh. Look at this. How cool it is. How cool is it? We get the pet stingrays. It's so cool. But it's still not one of my favorite changes. Oh, this is one of my favorites. Look at this. Look at this. You see that? That's a tessellata eel. Or tessellata. I think it's tessellata. One of my favorite changes to the aquarium is we basically have like sea snakes without having sea snakes because they're highly venomous and Lori doesn't allow venomous snakes. But the tessellata eel is like a big sea snake, and I love that he just goes back and forth all day. And I don't get to see fish all day because I do reptiles. But like, this is one of my favorite changes. I still have one more. You wanna know one of my favorite changes? We have sharks. That has never been something I thought I'd ever say in my life. I'm used to big snakes. I'm used to the monitors. I get all scratched up from all the things that we have over on Reptarium side. And then I get to come over here after we close or come in a little early and just while we're filming. Look, I get to stand here and look at sharks. How great is that? This is probably one of my favorite changes about the Legacy is that we literally have a whole aquarium surrounding us and I get to see animals that I've never seen before in my life. I've only been to a couple zoos and aquariums in my life where I see black tits. I don't get out all that much, but like, now I don't have to go anywhere else. They're here.
So the next crazy change in our life was starting the Reptarium. So now that we had this whole vlog thing going, we had all of these people who wanted to come and visit us. BHB really wasn't set up to have visitors, and it's not really something we wanted to do. It was the opportunity for us to take a lifelong dream of opening a reptile zoo and making it a reality. And along came opening up the Reptarium. So the Reptarium turned out way better than Brian and I ever thought. To have our dream actually become a reality and actually even better than we ever imagined. I mean, to be honest, I remember Brian telling me nobody's gonna come and it's just going to be us sitting here playing with the animals. And he was okay with it. But let me tell you, you guys came in the droves. It was so crazy and so humbling, the amount of people that wanted to come here. And actually, not even just you fans, but all the local people. This really turned into something bigger than we ever dreamed. And this was a huge blessing in our life. And then, what do? We sit here. It's Brian. What's the next change we're gonna do? Well, if we can do all of this and make this amazing, why not make it bigger and better, right? As life goes on, guess what happens? There's a chance for us to make this Reptarium bigger and better. Those of you who are able to come here in the thick of it and experience all of this, when we had over 100 people packed in these tiny halls, that was pretty insane. So what if we could make it bigger? And what if we could have more people here? That's what we had the opportunity to do. That's the next change that happened. Insert 2.0. This right here, this was actually a wall, and this is what's kept the space separate from original Reptarium to 2.0. That was a crazy day. The day we actually opened this up and tore that wall down, I'll never ever forget it. And by doing that, we were able to create all of this. Again, another huge change, a life-changing change. I mean, it's just insane how crazy everything became once we did this. And that weekend, I will never ever forget. Any of you who are there, I know our crew that was here, was the most insane weekend ever. Literally life-changing, because it took us from opening this, and 2 days later, COVID, everything shut down. Talk about more changes. Of course, we thought, oh, just like everybody, right? This is just gonna be a week. We're gonna take a break. That'll be fine. Oh no, life had other plans. Months and months of not being open, and then we just went with it. We were still here. We were still caring for the animals. Another change. Brian came up with ideas. I'm going to do video tours. And so we started doing video tours through this whole facility, showing you guys all the animals, doing all the stuff. And honestly, it worked out great, because that is what got us through, and it got us till we were able to open again. And we were so happy to do that. Oh, another side note that I wasn't even thinking about, change. This originally was a snake massage room. Yep. You were supposed to go in here and get snake massages. And that first weekend, a few of you did. But after COVID, that did not work, right? And a crazy opportunity came for another great change, adding Drogo to our lives. That was definitely an iconic change that added a whole nother level to Reptarium that wasn't existing before. But it was a great change that, again, changed the trajectory of where we were going and what we were going to do. Again, sometimes changes can be hard, sometimes they're good, other times, I don't know.
There's a few, because I definitely love having the mammals here, but I honestly think if I had to answer, it's that we get to have so many more people in the building. We're open every day, so we just see so many more people in general, and really like just the excitement of the masses that are in here. So let's go meet some folks. Hi there, how are you? Would you like to meet Weasley?
What's his name?
Weasley.
Yeah,
Skin.
petted the snake and he was so smooth.
Yes, exactly. You like to meet him? So what's really cool about Weasley is when he came to us, he was just a tiny little baby. It's a small monitor species, so he'll stay only about 4 feet when he's full grown. But we've enjoyed working with him and happy to have him over here at Legacy now.
So 2.0 was amazing. All these changes that we did, we went with them. They were great. But guess what? Life goes on and more changes are going to happen. The next change was literally going to be the biggest, craziest change that we could have ever imagined. I know you know what that is. Legacy.
One of my absolute favorite things that have happened since we opened up Legacy Aquarium is just adding so much space to so many animals that we couldn't before. If we take an animal like Lilo here, look at this amazing room that she has. She has all these ropes and branches, a tree. She's got multiple different beds, a huge litter box. Again, these were never things that we would have been able to offer across the street. And now we've got something for Lilo, we've got something for Brillo, we got something for Stitch, and I think we have some new animals that might be coming. Oh, hear him? Give us some good noises. Yeah. Hear it? Oh, I bet you the camera's picking that up. You might not be able to hear it, but I bet you the camera picked it up. Love you, buddy. And of course we have Javier. Javier now has a couple 100 gallons worth of a pond here. He gets to hang out with Matilda. We see him get the zoomies and stuff. And also we get to let people come inside of here and actually experience him. Again, all things that we never would have been able to do at Reptarium 1 or 2.0. My favorite thing about Javi is his cute ears. Go say hi, Javi. And of course, even for animals like Speedy, Speedy loves to walk around, as you guys know, but he never really got the opportunity to just walk around during open hours.
Next change up, the Legacy Aquarium. Now this is definitely the biggest and best idea and change that we could have ever done. I remember multiple conversations with Brian and I talking about how this literally was the craziest thing that we were ever gonna do. But how could we not do that? This is the opportunity for us to expand our enclosures, give our animals more room, to be able to not only do that, but have a bigger facility, to be able to reach more people, and to also break into having fish and having all that. It was really a no-brainer that this was the change that we needed to do at this time. So the next change that I'm going to talk to you guys about is definitely the hardest, and definitely not a good one. While riding high on the dream of creating legacy and all of this and how wonderful it was going to be, not far into it is when we got Brian's diagnosis. And the reality is that changed everything. It was a really hard time to navigate going through all this and just going through the reality of what that change meant. We obviously had high hopes that the reality that we're living right now was not going to happen. Unfortunately, that wasn't the prognosis. I'm sorry. I really want to be able to share this part with you. I know Brian was really raw with you and shared a lot of truth. I'm not a person who likes to do that, but I think it's really important to be candid with you and share these parts with you. And the truth of the matter is, this was really hard. It was really hard to make that decision to keep moving forward with a dream that he and I shared without him being a part of it. And I know it's what he wanted, obviously, hence the name Legacy. That was because this now turned from our dream together into ultimately his legacy. And that's a huge reason why I decided to continue going forward, not only for him, but honestly for the team, for my whole family. Like this is what was supposed to happen. And as hard as that change was, we all powered through. You know, we all came here together. I could never have done the things I did without my amazing team and everybody behind me, helping me and cheering me on, supporting me through it all, with you guys, the Reptile Army. All of those things were the truth of the matter that helped us get through this last year and complete this amazing thing that is the reality of a dream. that we had, and I really can't thank you guys enough for that. I wouldn't be here today without the support from all of you guys. It definitely has been the hardest thing. It definitely has been the hardest challenge and change I've ever had to deal with, but the reality is it was the right thing, and I couldn't be happier for this. I couldn't be happier that even though sharing my life and doing this vlog hasn't always been the easiest for me, because that's not necessarily who I am, but I was more than happy to be with Brian and fulfill that dream and that adventure with him. Every choice we made is because we were doing that together, and the truth of the matter is I have to make that choice of continuing to move forward with it. And honestly, it's a choice that I have made, and I think even though it's hard without his presence, I think me and the crew moving forward and continuing to share our life, continuing to share our passion and our love for animals, and being able to use this as a platform to reach people and make a difference, it's just something that we have to do, and we'll continue moving forward doing that.
Since opening the Legacy, a lot has changed in everybody's day-to-day operation and life. We've got 3 buildings now. We've got BHB, the Reptarium, and the Legacy. And I'm kind of now helping Mike run that team because it just made sense with so many things going on. Our team has expanded. It's like more than doubled. One of the most exciting things about that is just like with everything getting bigger and having more on our plates, it's kind of like we have more purpose now. You know, there are bigger goals, bigger dreams. I'm really excited to have this challenge and like work towards things like maybe we're going to be accredited one day, or maybe we can work with a charity or do some conservation programs. There's just so many possibilities with opening the Legacy. And you know, the Reptarium was cool and fun, and it was this like little operation and it was easy, but now everything is like a little bit more of a challenge. And I think with that comes like a more sense of responsibility and purpose, and like you're really a part of something great, you know? So I'm really excited about that. And that's kind of what the Legacy has given like me and Mike and our team, is just like a greater sense of purpose.
So obviously the theme of today's video is change, and now that we finally have Legacy open, we're all trying to figure out what the new day-to-day looks like for us, because there's definitely been a lot of changes in that. Not all bad, a lot good. One of the good changes that has come with all this is the ability for us to add a bunch of new ambassador animals to our collection. Beautiful animals like Blondie here, the albino tiger reticulated python, and many, many more. And we're so excited about that. But the reality is, with all of these changes, we're also realizing it's time for us to take a step back. We need to really think about what the future is for us, and we've decided that a couple-week break would be best for us to really just sit and process what the future is for us here. And we are so excited to have you continue to watch our journey and share our passion with wildlife with you guys. We would all like to thank you guys and our Reptile Army. We thank you so much for your support. It means the world to us, and we can't wait to see you soon.
Does that mean the vlog's over?
I hope it's not over.
The whole vlog done?
Guys, the vlog is never over.
Oh.
It goes on. It's never over.
So there's more to come.
So
we're just taking a break?
It's just
Just
a break.
That
I can do that.
It's just a break.
I can do a break.
Are we sure?
We're sure it's just a break.
Okay.
It's just a
The
break.
vlog
Okay.
can never end.
To be continued.
Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, there's a playlist that you can watch all kinds of videos. You can also hit that subscription button. It would mean a lot to me. Also, hit that like button while you're down there. Have a wonderful day, Reptile Army. Remember, be kind to someone, and I promise I'll see you in the next one.